Alright guys, so we have waited our 30 minutes now for the Archwing parts to build, so we're going to go down to our foundry and we are going to check this out. Hopefully you guys were able to do something productive during those 30 minutes. I went and did a nightmare mission and just farmed a little bit, leveled up some of my mods, so just spent some in-game time doing a few things. We're going to go down here and find our parts. So we have all three of these complete. Go ahead and claim each one of them. So we have our harness, our systems, and now our wings. Alright, so there we go. And now hopefully something will happen. For some odd reason, we're still not sure what's going on here. You know what? I'm betting I forgot to do something. Let's go to our inbox. These items were delivered to your inventory. Okay. So it says we have a blueprint in our inventory. But for some odd reason, it's not there to create. Oh, there we go. Alright, so there we have all the parts ready. We're going to need some circuits, and this is going to take another hour to build. So, once again, we're going to have to take a little bit of a break while we wait for this to build. So again, if you guys want to step away from the game for a little bit, or go and run a few missions, just work on your star chart progression, or farm some credits, just do something there to take care of that, and I guess we'll be back in just a little bit. Alright guys, so we have waited for our Archwing to build, so we should be ready to go here. We had a good 30 minutes to an hour to kill there, so hopefully you did something productive and went around and grinded out some credits or did something. But we're going to go all the way down to the end here in our foundry, and we should have our Odinata Warframe ready to go. Alright, so we've claimed it, we've crafted the Archwing, and now we have to go find Corpus Intelligence to hopefully finish out this quest, because this quest is dragging on quite a bit, and I kind of thought it was going to be a lot quicker than this, but between the crafting time and everything, it's starting to drag out just a little bit. So go up here to our quest tab, and we have a mission in Venus, which we're going to go do right now. I want to apologize a little bit for this last leg of the video. I've been having a lot of problems with Elgato recently with the software and just getting the sound to work. For some odd reason, it will not record game sound. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. It just cuts out whenever it wants to. I've tried reloading the software. I've tried just about all the troubleshooting. I'm really not sure what the problem is. So, I don't know. Maybe time to get a different capture card. I'm really not sure, but we're going to see what happens here. So first off, we did find a Cephalon fragment right away here at the beginning, so that's pretty cool. And we've already got that codex entry, so we can't really do anything with that. But we'll just run around here and get some loot, and we're going to make our way over here. And this is kind of a neat mission because the Grineer actually start to attack the Corpus in the middle of it, so you're going to have to fight both factions at some point, and then it will get into the Archwing section, which I'll talk about a little bit more when we get there. I am not a huge fan of Archwing at all, so this is going to be pretty interesting. I've just never, Archwing was an interesting thing they added to the game, and I think it was kind of cool that they did it. They were trying something different, and they were trying to do something for people who I guess wanted like space battles and a little bit more free flowing combat. I just feel like it's not very well implemented, and even the control scheme for it is okay, but I've never felt like Archwing was a great part of Warframe. But we will check that out here in a little bit. To me, they have tacked on so many different missions as well with Archwing that you almost feel like you have to do it. You're kind of forced to do it, versus it being something players want to experience and enjoy on their own. which I never like that when they kind of force you into playing content you might not want. That's never anything I'm a fan of. And it comes into play a little bit later in our free-to-play playthrough. I'm trying to remember which planet it is. It might be Neptune, if I remember correctly, where you essentially have to play Archwing or you cannot advance through to the next planet. I think one of the junctions, it might be the Neptune junction, requires that you play this Archwing mission and that you beat it, and it requires normally a team to do it because it's pretty difficult if you try to solo it. But so you are going to be forced to level up your Archwing, get some Archwing mods, and that's just part of the game, unfortunately. You won't have to play a lot of Archwing really until you get to, I think it's Uranus, and once you get there, you are going to have to play a lot of Archwing missions, and some of them are underwater, which is really interesting. But we'll get to that point, hopefully sooner rather than later. For right now, we're just trying to get through this quest so we can advance through to Jupiter from Ceres. And that's really what we're going for now, because we want to get to the point where we can start advancing through the game a little bit more. And once we get to Jupiter, there's going to be some better farming opportunities, and things are really going to start to pick up for us in terms of getting more gear and some other cool items in the game. And I'm going to do a kind of a catch-up video here pretty soon once we get through the Ceres Junction. Kind of show you guys where we are progression-wise. We only have 2 Warframes right now. We have Rhino and Excalibur. But we have a lot of different Warframes that we are crafting. In the Foundry right now, we've got Nyx. We have Frost. I've actually been getting some drops for Vauban as well. Vauban is kind of a cool armored Warframe that you're not really too concerned about him early in the game, but his parts actually drop from alerts. So as long as you're paying attention to those alerts, you can actually get all of Vauban's parts from those alerts, and you can get his blueprint from the market for 25 or 30,000 credits. I can't remember which it is, and you can build him pretty easily. He's pretty easy to build early in the game. If you're getting lucky enough to get those drops. Oberon, we've got all the parts to make Oberon. Those drop from Xmas enemies. Oberon and Nyx are really the easiest Warframes to get for a free-to-play account. They're going to be really easy to pick up. But we'll get into that a little bit more later. Alright, so here we have the Archwing is going to come in. It's been crafted. Ortis is going to deploy it. It's going to hook up to us, and now we get to pretend that we're a Gundam as the screen glitches out a little bit here. So there's this giant ship, this Fomorian thing, and it can take you out with one hit, which is going to kind of suck because I can't hear anything right now. Unfortunately, I have the speaker set up to Elgato because I thought it was going to be coming over with the audio, so I won't be able to hear when it's firing, but since the audio is glitching out on me right now, it's going to be a bit of a problem. So if I die instantly, it's because this giant Death Star thing has shot me. But you essentially want to fly to the green. Yeah, see, it says projectile incoming. And you might be kind of screwed here. You can get into some combat if you want. I like to just fly through this whole thing because it's kind of it's just kind of a clusterfuck right now. Trying to get through all this. Trying to worry about this dude blowing you up, and for some odd reason I can't get through that way. I've hit the wall, and we're just going to shoot stuff. Normally you would think space combat would be pretty cool, but Archwing is just kind of, it's just like I said, it's not very well implemented, and right now we're kind of weak because we don't really have much here. But we're going to blow through all this pretty quick and just try to shoot some stuff and kill some guys. Now, your Archwing is going to be pretty weak too, because you're going to be at a point where you don't have any mods at all for it. You're kind of using the basic weapons and melee for it. But once you start getting further through the game, there are Archwing nodes like on Earth and Venus and other places that are early and low level that you can kind of farm to get some better mods. Because the only way you're going to get mods and things for your Archwing are actually by playing the Archwing missions, which can be kind of annoying. And it's a little difficult to track here. Like I said, just not a big fan of this mode. I don't like the flight mechanics. And it just doesn't really fit too well within Warframe for me. But we're just going to go through and blow these guys up here. And try to make our way to the end. You got the Grenier and the Corpus fleet that are fighting here. This is a pretty cool, it's a pretty cool backdrop. The stages look really, really good. Can't complain about that too much. But other than that, Archwing is not very enjoyable. But okay, that's what I was talking about right there. And see, since I couldn't actually hear that was coming, because I don't have any sound right now. So normally I get the headphones through the Elgato so I can hear the game and record at the same time. But when you get hit with that, you pretty much die instantly. So when it starts to fire at you, you're pretty much screwed. Hopefully we get behind this ship, we won't die. That's what I'm hoping here. So there's really no good indication of when you're getting shot at by the Fomorian. So it's kind of hard to, I guess you just stay behind this ship here. And now you do have abilities with your Archwing. I don't know if I have any that are available right now. I just have this shield. Okay, I'm hitting a wall again here for some odd reason. Let's see if we can't go around this way. No, everything's kind of... Well, you won't let me advance through here, so I don't understand what the problem is. We gotta destroy this thing, that's right. I keep forgetting, this is one of those levels I would rather just fly right through and just get through it, because it's rather aggravating having to play Archwing. I've said that 100 times now, but really just not a game mode I'm a big fan of. At all. You can see the Corpus fleet in the background. They're kind of getting their asses kicked right now, but we're hopefully going to just get right through to the end. Alright, here we go. Alright, so you see now a whole bunch of stuff has been added to our mission success page. We now have the Imperator, the Veritux, and the Odonana Warframe, or Archwing, I'm sorry. So now you'll be getting XP for all of that anytime you run an Archwing mission. So that's something you have to keep in mind, that we'll be splitting XP through. But that's, I think, pretty much it for the Archwing quest. Yes, it's complete. Thank you. We won't have to worry too much about Archwing until we get through to Uranus. And then on Neptune, there's going to be a lot more Archwing we have to deal with later in the game. But that's the quest in a nutshell. Pretty quick and dirty. Other than the crafting time, it's not too bad. Now let me show you one more thing, and this is on the PC. If you're on console, I think you have a similar thing that you have to do. When you come into your loadout page, and this kind of threw me off the first time I ever played Archwing on my other account a couple years, whenever they put it into the game, is you look at your page here where you modify everything, you don't see anything that has to do with Archwing. You actually have to come down here and go to select mode. And this is going to give you the choice to pick between cooperative, which is mainly what you're going to be playing in Warframe, your Archwing, or the Conclave, which is PvP. So you want to come to Archwing, and then this is going to switch you over to another screen. It's going to show you your statistics for your Archwing, the different abilities it has here on the right side. And you can also go in and check it out. So we'll go, like, if we look at our abilities here, you see Energy Shell, forms protective shield basically. Disarray drops flares to confuse missiles. Seeking Fire fires a large volley of homing missiles. This is a pretty good power to use it quite a bit later on. And then Repel, massive pulse of energy, which stuns nearby enemies. So pretty self-explanatory there. And we'll have to level those up as well. You can see your Archwing here. You can change its colors and all that other fun stuff. And you can upgrade it as well. You can see here that you've got some spots here. You've already got some polarities too, which is pretty good even for our basic Archwing. We got 3 polarities already built into it. We have no mods right now, which is a problem, but we also have the Imperator, which is just your regular machine gun. You have 1 polarity built into that. And we'll eventually get some better weapons for Archwing. This is kind of just a basic machine gun there. And you've got your melee weapon. Melee is kind of fun in Archwing. It's one of the more enjoyable aspects of it. You can see there's other Archwing weapons. You can get like fists or a giant scythe and use those. And again, we don't have any mods for any of this stuff yet. But we do have Tempered Blade for critical chance. We can go ahead and just slap that on there since we have it. And that's pretty much it for how you equip your Archwing. Now, let me go show you guys also on the star chart so you can see what I'm talking about here. Because again, like a lot of things, they don't really explain Archwing to you that much. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this video, was so that we could actually talk about it, and so you could also kind of see it in action a little bit there. But you'll notice there are these other missions here. They actually have a little indicator that says it's an Archwing mission. And that is actually how you will get mods for your Archwing. You'll actually do those. All the enemies in those can drop Archwing mods. That's really the easiest way to get them. So you've got Exterminate, you've got a Mobile Defense. There's all kinds of different ones. There's Interception. They're just kind of like the same as they are with your Warframe, except for the fact that you're flying around, and some of them can be a little bit more difficult depending on what kind of enemies you're going up against. So, but the cool thing now is we have actually unlocked the Jupiter Junction. I'm going to do a separate video for that in a little bit, which is also going to go into the Captain Vor and Let Krill boss fight on Ceres. And you can see also when we unlock the Jupiter Junction, you're going to get some Archwing mods as your rewards. Down at the bottom, it's scrolling through. We'll get the Amphis Blueprint. And then I believe the other 3 rewards are all going to be Archwing mods, which are pretty basic, but when you get those leveled up really quickly, they will help your Archwing have a lot more survivability. So that's pretty much it, guys, for the Archwing quest. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I might have to split this up into 2 parts. We'll see how long it is once I get it edited and everything. But hope you guys have enjoyed this look at the Archwing quest in Warframe. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you again next time.